Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I have for you my favourite peach and coral and orange nail varnishes. I have swatched them all, and what I'm going to do at the end is I'm going to put this swatch in with all the names listed, so you'll be able to get them all written down and know which ones they are and stuff if you like any of them. As you can see, I've gone right from the paler shades all the way through to the more reddy tones, the traditional corals, and then at the end I've got a very, very bright orange. So I'm going to get started straight away. Now I have 11 polishes to share with you today, and actually 5 of those are Essie. They're these 5 here. I do think Essie do peaches and corals better than anybody else. They don't have the deeper shades, they have more true oranges, but I do think that for the peaches and the softer tones that they do a fantastic job. The first one that I've got is this, and this is a Crude Interest, and this was from their, I think it was their spring, or it may have been their summer collection last year. It's a very, very, very pale peachy shade. It applies really nicely. I find it is a 3-coater, just because it's, if you do 3 fine sort of coats, you get a really nice finish. It's really long lasting and it doesn't streak. But I love a Crude Interest, and it's probably my favourite pale sort of peachy nude, as it were. The next one is this, and this is Vandygo, and this is more of a pink toned peach. If you look at the two of them next to each other, so this is a Crude Interest and this is Vandygo, next to each other it does definitely look more pink, but I always think of this as more of a peachy shade. Again, 2 to 3 coats depending on your personal preference. A really beautiful polish that's really nice and long lasting. Now the next two I always get mixed up, and they are these two here. We have Tart Deco and then Haute As Hello. Now in the bottle they look very similar. You can see that Haute As Hello is just slightly paler, and then the Vandygo is slightly deeper. And when you actually swatch them, they do actually come up like this. So you've got this one here, this is Vandygo, and then you've got that Haute As Hello. Now I love these two colours. They are probably two of, again, of my all-time favourites. The Tart Deco I actually got out of the Fusion range, and I did debate whether or not I really needed it, bearing in mind that I had the Haute As Hello. But as similar as they are both also a little bit different, and that to me is enough. But gorgeous, gorgeous colours. If you're feeling braver, then go for the Tart Deco. And if you're a little bit more nervous of your corals or oranges, then perhaps go for the Haute As Hello. I'm just going to show you the comparison with Vandygo, and you can just see that colour graduation there. And then the brightest coral, and probably the truest coral, is this one, and this is Cute as a Button, and it's coming up a lot more pink on screen than it actually is. I do find though that this is one of those polishes that, depending on your skin tone, it can lean more towards the pink or to the orange. On me it probably does go more pink, but it is a gorgeous, gorgeous vibrant colour. It's this one here, and it just looks beautiful on the toes as well as the fingers. These are all cream finishes, these 5 from Essie, and I would say that the first 2 are probably 2 to 3 coats, and then the other 3 you could definitely get away with 2 coats. The Tart Deco is probably 1 coat. If you're in a rush, you could probably get away with that. So that's those. Now the next polishes I have to share with you, in the bottle, worryingly, all look pretty much the same or very, very similar, especially the first 3. I've got 2 OPI, a Simple, Revlon, and then 2 China Glaze for you. The next polish, and the first one from OPI that I have to share with you, is this one, and this is a True Aboriginal, I believe, yeah. And this was from the Australia collection, and this is a true coral, and it's actually got a little bit of shimmer to it, and I would say it's a gold shimmer, but it is beautiful. This was probably one of my first OPI polishes, sort of like within the first sort of like 5 or 6. And I love this colour. My only complaint with it is that you can see the natural nail line, because it is, it's not a cream finish, it is a shimmer finish. So, but completely worth it. Looks absolutely beautiful. This looks really nice on short nails as well as long as well, and also gorgeous on toes. The next polish is this one, and this is my Chihuahua Bites, and you can see they are very, very similar, if not pretty much identical. The main difference between them is that my Chihuahua Bites is a cream formula. So if you don't like that natural nail showing through, then perhaps go for my Chihuahua Bites. They are these two here. So we've got a True Aboriginal and my Chihuahua Bites. Gorgeous corals, and of the whole selection that I have here, in my opinion, probably the two truest. The next colour I have for you is this one, and this is actually from Sinful Colours, the new range that we can now get in Boots, and this is called Timbleberry, and this is what I've actually got on my toes at the moment. I am drawn to coral nail polishes like a moth to a flame. I cannot help it. And even though I knew that I would have one at least polish that was pretty much identical in colour, I still picked this up, and I'm really glad I did. It's a cream formula and it applies beautifully, and it feels far more expensive than £1.99 when you apply it. So if you are on a little bit, sorry, I've got a hair on my lip, I can feel it. If you are on a little bit of a budget, then this is definitely a great one to go for, because you get great quality and the colour payoff is amazing, and 2 coats you're set. Really nice brush on this as well. The next one that I have to share with you is this one here, and this is from Revlon, and this is called One Perfect Coral. And this was probably the first ever coral nail varnish that I ever bought about 8 years ago. This is probably the 2nd or 3rd bottle that I've had of this. And this is Revlon, I don't know if I said that or not. Revlon polishes are about £7.99, but they are one of my favourites. I really like the new range, the colours stay, and I like the glitters that they're coming out with and all that type of thing. But I think for just a real good quality, they are a little bit more expensive. I think they're about £6.99 than other drugstore polishes. But I genuinely think you can't go wrong with Revlon, because the colour payoff is great, and they are really, really long lasting, and they don't stain my nails, which even though I use a base coat, sometimes I find I get staining, but this one doesn't do that, and it is just a beautiful, beautiful colour. So if you can't get a hold of one, you should be able to get a hold of the other. But on screen, I think the Revlon's coming up slightly more orange, but they are pretty much identical, but 2 gorgeous, gorgeous colours. The last 2 that I have for you are both from China Glaze, and they are the 2 neons. This one here is Flip Flop Fantasy, and this one here is Knockout Orange, and they are both neons from one of the summer collections. I think this one I only got last year, so I think this may be out of last year's, and this is from a few years ago. But every summer, China Glaze do a fantastic neon collection. So if you can't get the identical one, you will be able to find one very, very similar. Flip Flop Fantasy is just a beautiful neon coral. It is absolutely beautiful. It dries to a matte finish, so I personally do like it with a top coat because it gives it a nice shiny finish, and I also think it makes it look brighter. But a gorgeous, gorgeous colour, and one of my favourite neons of all time. And then this one, which as I said, I only got last year, and I wore it on my toes once. And as soon as I get a little bit of colour, this is going to be going back on. And it is Orange Knockout. And this is a definite neon marker pen orange. A gorgeous bright colour, so perhaps not for those of you that aren't quite so brave. Or even if you're not so brave, try it on your toes, because it's amazing what you can get away with on your toes. But a gorgeous, gorgeous colour, and a definite favourite of mine, and one that just screams summer in the bottle to me. So yeah, that's Orange Knockout. So they are my pick of the corals and oranges, peaches and that type of thing. I think next I'm going to do blues and greens. Let me know what you think. Or if there's any other colours that you'd like me to look at and see, then please let me know. Anyway, I really hope that you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all soon. Bye!